Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a mixed media experimental adventure with me as I use my journals to do some practice art where I just have these ideas that keep, populating my head, and my head just feels like it's going to burst one day. So I just have to get them out. And I don't necessarily wait for the right materials to express myself. So as you can see, this journal is not one that would accept very wet media, but that didn't stop me. So I just kind of go for it. And I'm using Liquitex acrylic inks in this particular piece with some water. I was inspired to try this technique by Andrea Garvey, who is another local artist, local to me. She is based near Santa Cruz, and she does some amazing, phenomenal work. This is nothing like hers, but she did inspire me to try my acrylic inks in a very different way. I've only ever used acrylic inks with my gel plate. This is not something I've done before. Again, using my fingers because it's a medium that's new to me and I just feel safe. Using my fingers, I actually get to feel the intensity, the opacity, the texture of the paint. It's just something to do with not knowing a medium and feeling it with my hands to kind of control it, I guess, is my way of doing it. I'm also using a manual air pump. This is just kind of a big blob, and you just squeeze and it just, spurts out bursts of air. And while the ink is wet, it just helps spread the ink willy-nilly. There's no method to that madness. I'm drying the paint, the ink on the paper while spreading it around. And I wanted that loose hair look, kind of, since I'm practicing making faces. And I dug out my oil pastels and tried, since it's a mixed media piece, I'm trying out all of these different things that I have that I don't use, and kind of seeing what happens when I combine them all, see where it takes me. Again, using the Liquitex acrylic inks with water, squirting it. I just love spraying that. It does this beautiful thing where it just spreads around and moves through the paper, and then I use my fingers and I just kind of, rub it. And here I just dropped it directly from the dropper. It's just so fun, and I just feel alive when I'm able to do something like this. It's you don't have any control over most of it, although you try to get some control, but for the most part, it's just playing, right? It's just having fun. And I'm kind of reaching and grabbing whatever's close to me and using that. I don't plan when I'm doing this kind of free play. It's more of just letting my intuition guide me and going with my instinct. I know that you're supposed to have some kind of a T when you're making a portrait. I don't do portraits. I don't do faces. I'm taking a class to learn how to make portraits, but that's not a specialty that I have. It's not something I can teach. I'm still learning. So, I'm just kind of doing my best here. Just there's a circle, there's a T, there's, this is where the eyes should be, and there's a nose and lips. Now, how difficult can that be? So just trying it out, smudging around and playing, and it starts looking like three people. And that really is my intent there, is to make something that looks somewhat familiar. So you kind of get a sense of what it is, but it's not realistic painting by any means. And now I'm just kind of going in with some acrylic paint, some actual tube paints, and just smearing those around again with my finger. Again, this is not something that I normally would do. So I'm really branching out of my comfort zone, pushing myself. I've been so inspired by so many different mixed media artists that I've recently started following, thanks to the Pass the Brush movement that happened recently on Instagram. And they've just inspired me to kind of come out of my comfort zone and try some new things. I've been trying watercoloring quite a bit. I picked up my brush after 20 years, as most of you who follow me know. I haven't done any watercoloring in 20 years, and now I've picked it back up again. But I'm also, making up for lost time. I was in communications my entire adult life, and that's what I was trained for. But this is my passion, and also I feel like art really does sustain me at a much deeper level, emotionally, psychologically. It just, does something for my soul that nothing else does. So that's why I'm trying out all of these new things and sharing with you. And I really appreciate all the encouragement that I'm getting for all of my experiments. So thank you so much for helping me keep on creating and doing things that I haven't done before. This is really, truly a mixed media piece. I'm really just grabbing anything that's close to me. So I got my Stabilo woody pencils in the mix here too. And these are like crayons. They're wax based, but they're also water soluble, and they have this texture that the Derwent Inktense pencils don't. They are more like watercolors. So just mixing, and then I have the acrylics, I have the acrylic inks over here. It's just a lot of different yummy textures that I'm getting by just combining all of these different media together and trying to form what may look like a face. It's, there's no technique again to this. It's just mishmash of different things, and just having fun and playing around really is what it is. So if you have not done something like this before and you have a journal or a notepad lying around, just try something. Just, get out of your comfort zone. You don't even need to have a plan. I usually don't have a plan. I just go with, oh, I saw something and that triggered an idea. And what if I try this? What would happen? That's really my philosophy of doing pretty much anything. It's, curiosity. I'm really driven by curiosity and by experimentation. So that is what I'm doing here. And I've kind of figured out that the more I do this, it nourishes me, and it's not, it's not for anyone. I'm not making a card. I'm not sending this to anyone. This is for me. This is purely for me. And that, I think, is the most important thing that I have done for my own self-care, is to just take out a journal and start doing things just for me because I want to. So this is my encouragement to you to do something for yourself, not for, likes on Instagram or to send to someone, just something that you enjoy exploring and doing, and something that gives you joy, makes you happy inside. So here I just added a butterfly. So this is a die-cut butterfly from a piece of fabric, just random fabric lying around the house. Tried using it on fabric and it worked, so why not? And then I have these stickers lying around, so I just added those, and I always insist to my daughter and remind myself to just be authentic, to be genuine, to be true to who you are. And that is the message that I wanted this journal spread to have, is to be yourself, no matter whether you are the kind of person who is, very zen or has a spark or, has blue hair and doesn't care. Be yourself. And that is really the message of this. And I hope you do something for yourself too. Be you, do you, and indulge in some self-care. We really need it more than anything else these days, especially in these times. So I hope that this encourages you to do something for yourself, to enjoy the process. Don't ever forget to enjoy the process. And if you want, share it with the world. If you don't, keep it to yourself and just be happy. But I hope this inspires you. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your taking the time.